Okay, what if I told you that a super simple grammar rule is actually the secret ingredient to planning the perfect party? I know, it sounds a little weird, but it's totally true. We're about to dive in and see how this one little difference between two types of nouns can literally make or break your snack situation.
So let's set the scene. Meet our party planners, Kate and Jenny. They're on the phone doing that last-minute check of the shopping list, making sure they've got everything they need for their big get-together. Now, listen into what they're saying. When they talk about pretzels, Kate asks, "Are there enough?" But for soda, she asks, "Do we have any?" And then, "How many cans?" See that? They're using totally different words for different things on their list. And that right there, that's the central puzzle we're tackling today. Why does the language switch up like that? Why ask how many for one thing but not for another? Well, there's a secret rule at play. And don't worry, we're about to crack the code. So the secret, well, it all comes down to how we think about, stuff. It really boils down to two basic types of nouns. And trust me, once you get this, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Okay, first up, we've got countable nouns. And yeah, the name says it all. These are things you can literally count. One friend, two friends, one chair, 100 chairs. They have a form for just one, the singular, and a form for more than one, the plural, which usually just adds an S. Just think about those soda cans from the party list. It's easy, right? You can just point and count. 1 can, 2 cans, 3 cans. Each one is its own separate thing.
But then, on the flip side, we have uncountable nouns. And these are the things you can't count as individual items. We're talking about things like liquids or powders or even big ideas. You treat them as one whole thing, like a big lump or a mass. And here's the key. They only have a singular form. Let's take water, for instance. You never walk into a store and say, "I'll take 2 waters." That sounds kind of funny, right? You'd say 2 bottles of water or 2 glasses of water. The substance itself, the water, is just water. It's one big amount. You can't just stick a number in front of the word itself. Okay, so now we know the two teams, countable and uncountable. Now for the fun part. This is the toolkit, the special words you need to use with each type. Getting these right is what's going to make you sound super natural. All right, so for the things you can count, there are some specific words you've got to use. You'd say you have many books. You'd never say much books. And for the party, you'd have a few sandwiches, not a little sandwiches. And of course, for just one of something, you use a or an, like a can of soda. And for all that uncountable stuff, you've got a completely different set of tools. You talk about having much time or needing a little fruit. A really useful one is a little bit of. That one's perfect for those abstract ideas, like needing a little bit of confidence to hit the dance floor. But wait, there's more. There are these super flexible words that are basically your grammar secret weapon, because they work for both types. You can have some pretzels, which are countable, and some bread, which is uncountable. You can have a lot of nuts and a lot of pudding. And enough is another one. That's why Kate could ask, "Are there enough plates?" And you could also ask if there's enough courage for karaoke later. All right, enough with the theory. Let's put this stuff into practice. We're heading back to Kate and Jenny's party, and we're going to build the ultimate grammar-approved party checklist. Let's see what's on the menu. First up, sandwiches. Can we count them? Yep. 1, 2, 3. Easy. So they're countable. And since we only see a couple, we'd say we have a few sandwiches. Check. Okay, next on the list is fruit. Now, this one can be a little tricky. I mean, you can count apples and bananas, right? But the word fruit itself, as a general category, is treated as uncountable. So we'd look at this bowl and say there is a little fruit. Check. And this brings us to a really key point. How you ask about how much of something there is. For countable things like these cupcakes, you ask, how many? How many cupcakes are there? But for something uncountable, like this pie, you ask how much? How much pie is left? Getting this one distinction right is a total game changer. Okay, let's do a quick lightning round with the rest of the party food. Bags of pretzels? Countable. So we have a few. Chicken? Just the meat? Uncountable. That's a little. Cookies? Oh yeah, definitely countable, and hopefully we have a lot of them. And lemonade? It's a liquid, so it's uncountable. We have a little lemonade. So you can see how this works for a party, but honestly, this rule is so much bigger than that. It's everywhere. It actually shapes how we talk about everything, from big ideas to the materials that build our world. Let's zoom out a bit. Just look at all these different categories.
Abstract ideas, things like advice, happiness, information, all uncountable. That's why you get a piece of advice, not an advice. Then you've got materials like wood, cotton, gold, and whole groups of things like furniture or luggage. Even subjects you study, like music or mathematics, are uncountable.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Honestly, getting a handle on countable and uncountable nouns is a huge deal. It's what makes your English just click. It helps you sound more precise, more fluent, and just way more natural. It's one of those little things that makes a massive difference. So now that you know the rule, think about it for a second. The one that always got me was luggage. It's uncountable, but suitcases are totally countable. Weird, right? So I'm curious, what's one uncountable noun that still surprises you or feels a little strange? Let that question sink in, because that curiosity is exactly how you master this stuff.